Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about how to attract, engage, and retain clients to your veterinary hospital using digital marketing. My name is Brandon Breashears. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. In today's episode, we are going to talk about something that Google does, which I consistently despise, but it's part of doing business with them, which is they're taking away some very loved features of a product that you use a bunch. So this is going to have a direct impact on your practice. I can guarantee it. So you're going to want to listen to this in between episode. Before we start, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcast from. And if you like this podcast, if you could do me a huge favor, share it with somebody that you think would benefit from it. I would really appreciate it. It's how other people find it and help them to grow. I'm on a mission to help practices grow with digital marketing. So if you can help me to achieve that goal, I would be incredibly grateful. So thank you so much. All right, so let's talk about two features that are coming to an end here in just a few days. Actually, in 3 days here. I'm recording this on the 28th of June. And that is that they are taking away call detail reports. So you're not going to know how many calls you're getting. This is on Google Business Profile. I should mention that. So every practice that I work with, and I've seen almost all of them have a Google Business Profile. But two features that have been wildly successful are call detail tracking. So you don't know how many calls are going to be coming from your Google Business Profile. I think that they're strategically doing this so that they can charge more for their LSA ads. LSA ads are local service ads that are connected to Google Business Profile. It's basically a pay-per-lead model. And so that's my hunch, is they're trying to get people to pay more or do more of those LSA type ads. I've been seeing those emails that come out. And by the way, for veterinary hospitals, I don't think LSAs are a good use of funds. It's very expensive per lead, especially because cost per clicks are so low. When you run your own ads, it doesn't make sense to do that. So just a quick note there. But the call detail reporting is going to be gone. So why is this important? Number one, when you're doing any type of marketing activity, you need to know what your end goal is, and you need to be able to track how you're doing. So otherwise, you're just guessing and hoping, right? With Google Business Profile, I know for certain that it is one of the most valuable channels for client acquisition. So it is incredibly, incredibly important to have your profiles optimized and everything set up in a way that's going to get more clients coming in. That being said, now we're all kind of shooting in the dark. We don't know where calls are coming from as much because we don't have those details in our call reports. So an alternative is you can use a tool like CallRail. You can set up a number specific for Google Business Profile if you're using a voice over IP, and that's probably most practices. And so I would suggest doing that because it is very important to know where calls are coming from, where your clients are coming from, and that way also, if you have changes in client numbers and client numbers are dropping, you can diagnose the problem, right? If you have a pet that comes in that's under emergency and they're dying, if you can't assess the situation, you just have to look at the entire pet and say, I don't know what's happening. It's the same thing. If you don't know that your organic traffic has dropped from Google Business Profile because a competitor has jumped up and they are outranking you because of these three things, you can't make adjustments in a way that's going to help to actually solve the problem. So that's really, really important. The next thing that is being taken away is messaging on Google Business Profile on the 31st in just a couple of days here. So that's pretty significant. Messaging has been a great tool for practices that have it enabled because you're able to message directly back and forth. I don't see any alternative being put in place yet for this. But I think that if you could have a really strong online booking presence in place of messaging, or a messaging system that is on your website with like a chat bot, a chat widget type thing, I do think that that would be really beneficial in place. People do like to chat and get questions answered. And so if you can make yourself accessible that way, I think you're going to be able to get more clients. So those two things are going away. Just be aware of it. If you can, set up a number specific for Google Business Profile so that you're tracking calls coming from there. And that way you know exactly where your calls and clients are coming from. I hope this was helpful. If you need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.